You're about to see something that a lot of people won't see at all, and it could be the biggest change in your life when it comes to money. Picture missing the chance to build wealth for your family because you didn't know how to get in. Crypto staking is a perfect example of this, and most people don't even know what it is, much less how to use it to make a lot of money. People who understand what's going to happen and get ready now will make a huge amount of money. The kind of money I'm talking about will change your life and take away all your worries about cash. I'm not telling you what to do with your money. If you aren't aware of what's going on right now, you could miss out on one of the biggest money-making opportunities in history. If you understand it, you'll see why the richest companies in the world, like Blackrock, are in a hurry and are lobbying and pushing officials to let them do this before you do. Once they get the go-ahead, you can be sure that a lot of things will start to happen. Please take a moment to picture this. Regular people could invest in startups before they went public many years ago. That's how people got rich. Families became ultra-rich instead of middle class simply because they were able to get a head start. But the game changed over time. Powerful hedge funds, conglomerates, and private investment firms pressured politicians to make it harder for people to tap these funds. They pushed through new rules to make sure that the average person couldn't play at the same table. All of a sudden, you needed to be an authorized investor. You had to show that you were rich before you were allowed to become even more rich. The insiders had already taken huge gains by the time the stocks were available to the public. Everyone else got the scraps. Now we're back again, looking at the same kind of setup, but this time it's bigger. Now it's crypto trading. Blackrock, the world's biggest asset manager, is moving quickly to make sure that staking is included in their Ethereum ETF. Do you get what that means? They don't want to just let buyers follow the price of Ethereum. They also want the yield. They want to get the staking benefits. They want the asset growth and the income stream. That's how they will be in charge, and that's how you should think as well. Before I go any deeper, I have to say something very important. What do you think will happen after the SEC agrees to BlackRock's request to add staking to Ethereum ETFs? Ethereum is suddenly very popular, not only as an investment, but as a money-making machine that's better than government bills. Consider it. Anyone who doesn't want to learn about crypto directly, like institutions, retirees, or lazy investors, can just buy the ETF to get quick access to Ethereum and the staking yield. At the same time, the stock of Ethereum keeps getting smaller as it is taken off of exchanges, locked up for years, and put into ETFs. Scarcity and output together are like rocket fuel for prices. This isn't clear to most people yet. They're still chasing the latest news and watching the same old experts who keep them occupied. But the people who know what they're doing are already getting ready. The question is if you are. Let me explain this in a way that makes it even more clear. Even though there are networks that compete with it, Ethereum is still the best one for starting projects. It's Web3's foundation. Now BlackRock, the biggest financial giant in the world, wants to invest billions through an ETF. That's more than just praise. That's a sign. That type of action affects pension plans, bond markets, and sovereign funds. Now things are going to get wild. When the return from Ethereum staking looks better than treasury yields, capital flows change. Bond markets become less strong. Cryptocurrency gets stronger. That's how important this moment is. It's not only about a coin's value going up, it's about a change in the places where the world keeps valuable things. But most people won't get this until it's too late. No need to wait for the ETF. You don't have to wait until the executives make their billions. You can learn to stake right now by going straight to the staking site. Today, you can get prizes. You can build up assets while most people are still wondering, wait, what's staking again? That's why I'm stressing this so much. This is your chance if you want to see a device before everyone else. We're on the first floor. Most of you are too young to have invested in Amazon in the 90s, Apple before the iPhone, or Bitcoin when it was worth less than $1,000. But now you're here. And betting is the direction that the biggest players are going in. Now, let me be very clear. By the time regulators finally loosen their rules and allow more people to join in, it will be too late for everyone to get the best benefits. That's how it always is. The insiders have already set up their positions by the time the laws are made and the gates open. Don't be that person who buys when prices are high and the sellers are making money. I'm telling you, the time is right. Also, you don't need to be very good with computers to use this. It's easier than mining, and it's easier than operating a lot of loud tools that make your house too hot. Once you learn how to stake, it's easy to do. There are also new opportunities that weren't possible just a few years ago. That is why I keep saying this. Before the massive wave hits, make sure you learn it, do it, and lock it in. What amazes me is some people still think about taxes right away when they hear about doubling their money. Is that true? That's what fear makes you say. If you double your money, then have to give up a piece of it for taxes, did you still make a huge profit? You certainly did. That's how you get rich. You don't have to be afraid of the taxman anymore. Rich people use legal methods, spend, and keep making their businesses bigger. They aren't too scared to move. And this is just what Blackrock is working for. They know that most people won't do the work. They know that most people will stay lazy, so they'll get all of the return, growth, and long-term compounding and keep getting richer. But you can do something about it. You don't have to just let it happen. The request has already been recognized by the SEC. The timer is counting down. It could get the okay in the next few months. That's how far we've come. The normal person is waiting for a TV host to tell them what to do. You, on the other hand, could already be staking, stacking, and compounding. Now, here's the point. When an ETF adds staking, the demand goes parabolic, not just up. Investors used to compare Ethereum to stocks, but now they compare it to bonds, CDs, and treasuries. And you know what? The output is much better than those. The upside is much better than those. It's not a fair fight at all. This is what I want you to get. This is more than a crypto show. This is a worldwide change in cash. Pension funds, national funds, and trillions of dollars from institutions. This is being watched by all of them. The group moves when the gate opens, and that's why you need to be on time. This is why you need to learn now, because the truth is this. When Wall Street fully goes to staking, you won't have these chances anymore. The yields will be smaller, the risk-reward balance will change, and the amazing compounding potential that you can get now will be gone. This is why I keep stressing how urgent it is. You can get in front of the tidal wave or stand on the beach and watch other people ride it. Also, don't think this takes a long time to happen. We saw billions of dollars in almost right after Bitcoin ETFs were approved. That was just a way of showing the price. Now think about what happens when staking, actual yield, and actual passive income are all connected to the same goods. We're talking about a switch being flipped that could start a full-scale bull market for Ethereum and projects built on top of it. You need to change the way you think. Quit comparing this to stocks that change value by only a few % each year. Don't compare it to a savings account that only gives you bits. Staking is a form of yield that is linked to an object that is constantly gaining value. It's in a system that is still so new that most people haven't even started to use it yet. It's rare to see that combo because this is where everything gets real. You need 32 ETH to create a full validator node on Ethereum. Most people don't have that, so companies like Coinbase and Lido group together smaller buyers. But when you look to the future, you need to ask yourself if you want to just give your benefits to some huge cleaner, or if you want to be like the institutions with direct access, yield, and control. I used to run companies that were all based around nodes. Just by being a part of the system, we actually formed LLCS, ran validators, beta-tested networks, and made money. Now for the wild part. Most of the people who had that chance didn't know how valuable it was. They sold too soon, took the quick cash, and will probably never know how much money they could have made. That's the difference between a person who thinks about the present and a person who thinks about the future. You can make a choice right now. Would you rather be the kind of person who finds out about staking only after ETFs have gone live, once the news comes out, after the institutions are fully in? Or do you want to be the one who started staking already building, already in place for when the world is awake? We saw this same thing happen with Bitcoin. It got laughs from everyone when it was less than $100, and then again when it was less than $1,000. When it reached $10,000, people were wondering if they had missed their chance. Then they saw it drop to $60,000 after waiting too long. Don't do staking again if you made that mistake. Consider the supply shock. All ETH that is held cannot be used in transactions. Any ETH that is locked in an ETF cannot be sold. Also add the fact that the returns are better than on treasury bills. This means that a lot of institutional money will soon meet a shrinking supply. When there is a lot of demand and little supply, what happens to the price? It's basic economics. Now, let's look at the bigger picture. Ethereum is still the main platform for starting businesses, installing smart contracts, building DeFi protocols, making NFTs, and so on. All of those actions increase the need for networks. When you can stake your coins, it doesn't only increase the value of ETH, it also makes Ethereum even more important to the whole community. This is why BlackRock's action is so huge. They see Ethereum as more than just a coin. They see it as a way to support the network. And that's where the money goes. Infrastructure. Don't be scared of earning money. Go make something. Can you see why this isn't just an ETF headline? This is the beginning of a world reset in the ways that people save and increase their wealth. The next big thing is staking. It is known by the organizations, the people in charge know it, and soon everyone else will know it too. But by that time, it will be too late for the biggest gains. Now is the moment. Riches don't go to people who aren't sure what to do. People who wait until it is safe don't get it. It goes to the people who notice the chance before it gets busy and do something while others are still not awake. You can do that right now. BlackRock is showing you the way to the future. They are almost yelling it. They are saying that they want to be a part of staking. We want the return on our investment. We want the benefits. And we want to keep it all inside our ETFs so that most people never see how great they are. Are you going to let them take it all? That's the question. Or are you going to get your part before they do? The window is not closed. It isn't going to stay open for a long time.